PB Large.
Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? It's your host of Trappin' Ain't Dead. I'm Janéy.
And I'm Munch.
And this is what you got to look forward to on this week's episode. So the HyLo this week is the BP Summit.
Uptown 7th Avenue events.
The Carroll City football player that passed away.
And we're going to be talking about that fuck-ass judge in West Palm Beach who gave Buddy 10 days for being in contempt of court.
Oh, and JT is free, period, bitch.
Welcome home, JT.
Florida was definitely on the map and had a great presence at the BET Hip Hop Awards. We're talking about that.
And we can't forget Tyler Perry in the new studio.
So y'all make sure y'all subscribe, y'all like, and you make sure you tune in to the next episode of Trappin' Ain't Dead.
Yo. Welcome to Trappin' Ain't Dead, another day, another dollar peep game. It's your boy Munch. I'm here with my co-host Janéy. What's up, dog?
Hey, Munch. Today was a long day, but it was a good day.
It was a good day?
Yeah.
That's good.
How about you? How you doing?
I'm free. I'm in my slides. I've been working out. I've been just catching up on my wellness. Yeah. So I've been relaxing. You see I'm bright right now.
You seem more relaxed and mellow.
Other than that, man, how was Culture Crawl last night?
Oh yeah, Culture Crawl was last night, and that was pretty dope. The turnout was really good. It was at Dolly's Florist up in the Northwest Miami-Dade portion of the county. I think that's unincorporated Dade, and that's Commissioner Gene Monestine's area. And it's actually an initiative by him. Yeah. Partner with the Uptown Avenue 7 CRA. That's say that 10 times. Yeah. And Muse is a partner in that, and I think the Cultural Affairs is a partner in that. Yeah. And just pretty much looks like I like what they're doing. They're creating events to market those businesses on 7th Avenue. And I think that's pretty cool. And it was a great turnout. The Elements, the band, was performing. They were really amazing. DJ Way Trey was there. I met the owners. They're like third generation in owners. Like, they were really cool. Shout out to Quadira, who's handling all their marketing and their PR. She contacted me about having HyLo News do some coverage and being a media partner. So that was pretty dope. And I think the 24th, don't quote me. Go on their page, their Instagram, Uptown Avenue 7 page. But they're having another pop-up event this month, and then it all culminates with a big festival in November. Yeah. The Uptown Avenue 7 Culture and Arts Festival.
Yeah, that's they usually since they've been doing it, that's the area I stay in. So they actually it's a little east of where I'm at specifically.
That ain't your area. That's my area.
No, I'm talking about where they actually did the festival.
Oh,
the festival itself. They did it over there like 83rd. Yeah, so it's over there. We've been, I've been a partner at it a couple times.
So this ain't a new thing. No, I never heard
of
it
before.
The
pop-up, the actual, I think they expanded it now because it started pretty much as a thing that was just like on 7th Avenue. It wasn't really out east, so I was interested in looking at what that looked like going east and west. They've been doing it for a long little minute. Like it's not long, but it's I want to say like the last 3.
Oh, maybe. Wow. I had no idea. Yeah. I thought this was like some completely new initiative.
But the actual Culture Crawl and Uptown Avenue 7 has been up for a minute. But the Culture Crawl, I think, was something.
What about the festival?
The festival was something they did, but they didn't do the pop-ups.
Oh, okay.
They did maybe like one pop-up, I think, that was before that, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember when Muse was the one who was putting those events together.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Shout out to Ashley and Bart doing the damn thing. Y'all better follow Muse 305.
They actually got a campus over there on they got the Muse Maker campus over there on 54th, right next to Chef Creole.
I was like, is this Muse?
Yeah. That's their spot. So they have like a drum circle there like mostly every Sunday, and then they do
I love drum circles. Why nobody on too?
Yeah, they do a drum circle there every Sunday.
Yo, if y'all listening, please tag me on the drum circles. I get down with that. I went to my first one in DC, and I was like, I wish we did shit like this in Miami, and I ain't know we be on that level of blackness down here.
Yeah. I mean, we drum circles have been happening for a long time. It's just about where they happen at.
Is it a secret?
No. It's not a secret. It's something they invite people to come to all the time. I just haven't been, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it G. Like, fuck it, it's my show. Like, we had that pressure, but we worked it out.
Oh.
So yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like but it's but it's cool. Like, we worked it out. To me, it was never nothing bigger than what it should have been. It was like, I said what I said. I ain't really wavering on it. Like, I think they thought like I was going to back down. Or retract anything, and I never been one of them type of people. So
if you say he cool, then he cool.
Yeah. Like, my thing is this, man, and I'm gonna speak on it.
But if he not,
like, it's
or anybody,
it's
that's how
they came. So basically, in May, May is Haitian Independence Month. I can't sit up here and say I want to be cool with the next brother that's my Zoes that's on the other side of the tracks. If I got beef directly with a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he came out. I knew he was coming. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no pressure with nobody. I said what I said. It was never done in a way to like harm you. Like, it wasn't no bloodshed came after that. It wasn't no extortion. It wasn't no real issues. It wasn't no real pressure. I said what I said. So I think it was some words that was said that people ain't like, but it was like it started with words that was said and we just let it slide. So like for us, we worked it out. So what's the HyLo?
What's the HyLo? Thank you. We now calling our hot topics HyLo. So y'all get with it or get left. No, don't get left. Just listen. But
subscribe to the motherfucking email.
Yes, please, and the blog and the likes and everything and the social media pages. But what's the HyLo? What's going on around town and beyond? The first thing I wanted to discuss was the BP Summit, because we've been supporting them for a minute, and she's been supporting us too. We've recorded live, and that's happening next weekend.
Are we back? I think I talked to her some time ago, but I haven't heard anything.
I got to send you the press link, but we should be good. We should be good. But BP Summit, I want to give y'all the exact name. I mean, not the exact name, the exact date, so we could.
It's October 17th through the 20th, I believe.
Look at you.
Yeah, I know. I've been following them.
Munch,
that's how, because I be
knowing,
and that's the thing. So the 17th, I know they have like a candidate forum. It's the same day as our Dollar Trap workshop. So I'm never a hater. If you feel like the Dollar Trap learning about court fines and fees is not for you, please support the Black Professional Summit. In the BPN, which is the Black Professional Network.
I see a lot of familiar faces that are going to be speaking at the event. That's dope.
Yeah.
So it's starting from Friday going through Sunday. You got a whole weekend worth of events going on. Erica Bennett, global head of social influencer marketing of YouTube Originals. She's the keynote speaker this year at the BPN Summit. So y'all, they got some great guests. I saw my boy Janéy, JD Craigman, Kristen, and Abraham Hollis with Optimal
I was just
Health.
about to say Optimal
I saw them
Health,
as speakers. So some local people coming in there sharing their wisdom, as well as national people. I like the fact that Kanasha, when I spoke to her about the summit, that she's like, how do we cultivate a culture here where there's not brain drain, where we do capitalize on new industries and new technologies that's coming up. And I love that she created this conference for her, because it was nothing like it before, especially nothing I felt like, to me, that spoke to a millennial perspective as well. So I love what she's doing, and you guys definitely got to check her out. It's still time to get your tickets too, so head over to bpsummit.org and you can find all the information that you need about all the events. You
heard of the story about the 12-year-old kid that got set on fire?
No, you were telling me about that. You gotta let me know what's up.
Basically, this happened. I found out by way of my boy. Shout out to Miles Moran, out of Orlando with "Let Your Voice Be Heard." He made a post, and I seen this kid like burnt up, 3rd-degree burns and stuff. And he later shared the story that the kid got set on fire by his friend doing the fire challenge, some silly ass challenge. And the kid got 3rd-degree burns, man. It's real bad. What? Yeah, like, it's a crazy story. Like, he got set on fire by his friend during the fire challenge. And I'm like, it just,
That's a challenge. So that's
I'm like, what?
I ain't
That's
never
a
wanna
challenge.
play with
Fire. Like, and then here's the thing. His friend doused him in the gasoline and then lit him on fire. And I'm like, what challenge? I haven't heard of this shit. Like, where is this?
But who would want to do this?
Like, who gives it? And then the
He
kid
12?
is 12 years old. How do? I mean,
12,
I can't say.
I knew not to play
I
with
can't
fire.
say. I can't say how the fuck a 12-year-old kid got a gallon full of gasoline. I mean, if he ride dirt bikes, he can get gasoline. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So, like, I figured it's just like, why would you go to, like, what made you think of that and think that was okay?
Yeah, like I just remember knowing that fire was not cool, because I'm like, okay, these little kids, then maybe you could be.
They didn't have Smokey the forest fire bear,
and they must ain't have crack
They
as
have-
whack and say no and
All that
that
shit.
other
They ain't had none of
propaganda
that
they
shit.
gave us.
They
And-
got stop the bullying and shit like that.
But they need to know that fire is bad. But my thing is this: as the parent, I can't imagine getting that call, and it's not even like it's an accident. Like your child intentionally wanted to be set on fucking fire, and
Not
thought
even-
it was a challenge.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't even think the kid wanted to be set on fire. I think this was an actual challenge. I don't know to what degree was his knowledge, but from what I know and from what I've read, he didn't know. This is a thing like you just do to your friend, and I'm like, what?
Oh, that was like some jackass surprise shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the boy who got set on fire didn't know that he was being challenged. Like,
Yeah.
so instead of the ACL, let me dump some ice on your head, is let me dump some gasoline and light you on fire.
Yeah.
That judge up there who sentenced the young man without a record to 10 days in jail. He had probation and community service for missing jury duty because he overslept. That story, has gone viral. But what I saw recently about it was that now he's reversed everything, and now he's kind of like on this campaign to get apologies,
Nigga.
and like because he doesn't like the backlash. Of
NAACP
all
got
of
on
it.
that ass too, don't?
And they should have got on their ass. And I hope that everybody fucking doesn't revote this man back into office.
But it's uber important to vote. Like,
so important.
like you got Meek Mill. We just went has a reform coalition that he's putting together. You got and you seen what the judge did to him.
I
know.
People don't
and-
realize that you vote, and most
Yeah.
people just go down the ballot and bubble anything anyway for the judges, or don't vote at all.
Yeah, I just in that particular situation, when I read it, he was talking about like being like basically the charge was he was held in contempt of court and sent and given 10 days. Now the whole thing about it is I was tripping because I was under the impression before, like just off the headline, like dog, you sentence a nigga to jail for not coming to jury duty. I know niggas in Dade County don't come to jury duty. You know what I mean? Like they buck that shit consistently.
I'm not gonna get my own tea, but
You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm just saying, like, I know people buck this shit every day. Like, and it's not just black folks.
exactly. No, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think that was made it so extreme to me because so many
Yeah.
people have done it. So it's like, damn, I could go to jail for this.
yeah, and I think like so what ended up happening was he actually got picked. So he went to jury duty, got picked, right? And they were given a break or some time in between when the actual trial, I guess, would start and him being picked for the jury. So apparently they said that he overslept. He said that he overslept. He came to the court. He still came. 45 minutes later, he came though. Of course they mad because time is money and 45 minutes had to get spent, so that's an hour on somebody's time.
Oh, I thought he ended up going to work instead.
No, he overslept.
Oh, okay. I thought he overslept and was just like, fuck it, I'm finna go to
Yeah,
work.
so he had to go to work.
Oh.
And then when he got off work, you know what I'm saying, before getting there, he took a little quick nap and he overslept.
Oh.
And from what was said. And that's the thing. It's just like it was an honest mistake. And the judge, when he actually got there and he told the judge gave him his 10 days. You feel me? So it's like that's the thing with the judge. Like and then I just don't like the back end and the language that he's using as far as like we was talking about earlier.
Yeah, like what we saw, he's rehabilitated.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, like cause he don't want to admit his fault. Like he gotta show like it was a problem here, so
Yeah.
we fixed it. Not he doesn't want to admit fault that he was excessive with that punishment, and that he pretty much, to me, allegedly, or it seems like because the young man is black, that's why he got that sentence. Like, I don't feel like if he was a white young man in college working, that he would have got fucking 10 days and all that other bullshit thrown at him. Like that shit.
I think,
my gosh, it made me
but
so
that's
mad.
even in the article, he says, well, he admitted in court, it's on record that he was in contempt of court, so I had to. And I'm like, but what happened to the judge's discretion? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and but at the same time, it's law. So it's like, if it's at the judge's discretion, like, he could give you a slap, but I think he was upset, and I think it was a heat of the moment thing. He did his 10 days, and then now I guess he appealed it or whatever. And I think because of the backlash, they're gonna end up taking it out. But he just want to be a hard ass.
He ended up doing it because like that shit went fucking. It's in the New York Times. That shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club, all the blogs, all the newspapers across the country.
Yeah.
And you look like a dickhead, and you look like what we all know judges to be. When they're white and prejudiced. And every other thing that they do to black people. Like, now it's like, to me, these are now examples where it's like we can't even ignore, like, bitch, really.
And but I think that goes back to like my whole I think I said this on the show before about like the 2000s and the 2000 like the 2000s. Everybody thought it was technology, oh my God, it's gonna take over the world, but it was like, no, this is the age of information. This is like duality. That's what 2 stands for, is duality. And I think we're going to be able to see both sides of the like, that's why shit's so polarized right now. You know what I'm saying? And 2020 coming to a head, and that's why like racism is like to the forefront. All these things are like to the forefront, and nobody can ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the numerology.
I mean, I think it's some deeper stuff going on, but I definitely, like, on the surface level, and I think about this a lot. I was like, I'm like, even though the internet and social media can be destructive and toxic sometimes, it's definitely, to me, been serving black people and minorities and women with it getting exposure, getting platforms and issues out there when mainstream media used to ignore us, because now you can't ignore a bitch with a camera phone showing you like, bitch, he just shot that little boy in the back for having a toy gun, or he just did this, or this judge did this. Like, you can't even deny it anymore because everybody has the information now. And I think that's the cool thing about it. And I'm hoping that black people, we start to utilize it in a way that it could really serve us and make us build wealth and unity and all type of shit that we need to keep it moving.
I mean, shit. I mean, it's gotten us back into a mentality of crowdfunding, and that you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been like, think about it. Think about how many times we so quick to go to GoFundMe. Like, people ridiculing us right now, but at one point, we wasn't even breaking bread together. At least we willing to donate for causes and different things like that. And you got a platform that made it possible for you to do it. So I think it's a yin and a yang, it's a good and a bad. I think it's about how we use data. Shout out to Yeshi with Data for Black Lives, and how we use data, how data is being used against us. For so long, like you said, social media became that dark matter, that kind of like that kryptonite, you know what I'm saying, for them, that where a lot of the information that we used to say for years, or things that was like urban myths like, are now nah, this front page news, my nigga. So, that's the thing. Even with what we do, with the podcast, like, there are a lot of things like now we're putting out there. You got the blog, like, technology has enhanced that to where like it's not one-sided anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. And speaking of group economics, last week I was invited to speak at Chef Culture Broward's monthly meeting about marketing and using the press to your advantage. And I just love what Chef Chad Cherry and his wife are doing. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. If you know it, Mrs. Cherry, what they're doing with Chef Culture, and how it's Karen, what it's grown into different chapters, and that's something that he mentioned about, like, group economics and properly, teaching each other how to use social media so they can get your message out there and things like that. And I just love what he's doing in that community that he's building with Chef Culture, because to me, I'm like, I was talking to him, I was like, can we do this for different industries? Can you help me get this started? Because what y'all doing is amazing. And I feel like, because he made a good point. He was like, black people don't have networks.
Yep.
Like we're network deprived and we don't know how to,
build out the network.
Build out and get started. And even though we don't know how to maneuver it
and
or whatever.
maintain it.
Yeah. Or if you're trying to start a business, especially as an entrepreneur, you may be the first person in your family to do what you. So it's like who you go to much if you want to ask them about what you do in your family.
Shit.
I can't ask nobody in my family
I'm gonna be
how
honest.
to help me.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I got an semi-entrepreneurial family. So like my old boy is he own that. You feel me? But it's like like I told y'all before on the show, the nigga talk to me in parables. You know how parents are. So like they talk in code sometime, and you gotta decipher the code to figure this shit out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or like. I got like that uncle that I talked about last week that got more time than fucking Amber, whatever the fuck, Amber G.
Wow, yeah.
Like and he like those were the guys like he was the guy that like my uncle was the guy that I looked at in business because that's what we talked about. If we talked about sports because I was playing football, we talked about the management side of the business. So I always kind of like had those talks with them. I don't have anybody like really outside of like a few mentors that now I've certain like just gotten in contact with where like they got me through business. Other than that, I don't really have nobody in my immediate network other than V. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like to maneuver certain situations, I could call certain people and ask them right in the moment about certain things, but like most of the time I ain't really got nobody to like check in with and just be like, hey, is this a good move? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I'm unsure shit, and I check in with you like shit about certain little small things.
And I'll be like, okay,
nigga, is you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and y'all it's simple because that's something y'all been in, and I think part of it is you got a respect for the craft, and then the other part is like you just curious, you want to do it and you want to do it right. You know what I'm saying?
But to me, I'm like, even it's not even like a arrogant thing. It's almost maybe sometimes because of your experience and stuff, I just be like, oh, like you know this like already. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, you asking me like I thought like know this.
It's just
you get what I'm saying?
it's a for me it's like I know the traditional way to do things, and then I always look at like how can I go outside the line and pull certain things from that traditional model, because that's what I think like innovation and change is. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's just saying, look, I can't be in the box with y'all. You feel me? Because this old way of doing business and this way of this strategy we used to do, it worked for the time that it worked, but it's not working right now. You know what I mean? And I've always been able to work like in a capacity where I'm a little bit outside of the line. And it just does, like a lot of times like I see a lot of people working in between those lines, and I try to mimic them sometimes, and I don't always get there. But a lot of stuff that's just like I ask you because it's just like I just want to make sure like I'm doing it the right way. I remember one time one of the people who you work for, Carrie, producer
from CBS.
From CBS.
Yeah.
Is it Carrie, right?
Yeah, Carrie.
Yeah, she gonna kill me. But yeah, I remember one time dope. She was talking about like just PRs and like her hating PRs because they always want to send information, like send it to get the guests on the show, but how many times are they really talking about like the need for the show, like how do you fit the show, like you know what I'm saying? And for me, I've never been in the capacity to be like, hey, I think this person, and I never thought of it like that, but I've done a lot of PR situations without thinking, you know what I'm saying, like just bridging people, you know what I mean? And I think of that like firsthand, so I'd be like, well, how the fuck they ain't think about that?
You'll be fucking surprised.
You know what I'm saying?
As a reporter, you'd be like, you just pushing this shit, and this ain't even got nothing to do with the platform that you pushing it to.
Yeah, and
and you would be surprised. Yeah. Professional people or claim to be professional, and even working at the Miami Times, I would get stuff that just wasn't right for that media or for that audience.
Type of media,
and it's like so what that tells me as a publicist, you don't even care. You just sending it out and throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Yeah. And that is almost offensive to me when it's like you don't even care about my platform, so why would I share it with you? Yeah. And I feel like, as we continue to grow, like, you'll see it. Like, you may get hit from somebody in Wisconsin saying they want to be on it, like the show. Oh shit!
Trust me, it's a lot of.
And I'm talking about a white man from Wisconsin who got a farm who just saw this and just sent it. You get what I'm saying? And it be like that. You like, this has nothing to do with the platform.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now, and I've said this throughout the week, this past week. 40 passed, and I felt so fucked up. But that was one of my biggest things. Like, a lot of cats used to send music. You'd be surprised how many music requests came through the email or come through the DM.
I be seeing them now that I'm
logged
or
in. Just coming through the DM, and you like they'll DM me like, man, Munch, I need this spot, or I need this, I need that, and I'll be like, all right. Like, my homeboy, shout out to Hound, man, I hollered at him this week. He got a fire ass record. He put out a song that pretty much detailed like our childhood, like the trap. And I was like, why the fuck you ain't been give me this? And I told him, I say, things like that, you send to me and then you tell me what it is. Don't just talk in code to me. You know what I'm saying? To me, because I'm not going to jump it. Like, we be, everybody in between shit. And we don't always grab it or get it. So I was like, you could tell me, yeah, shout out. I see you doing your thing on the show, but that don't mean look out for me. I got a record. Like, tell me, hey, I got a record. You know me. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. Even if you didn't, like, send us an email, tell us exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Like what the song is about?
Like what the song is about. Like, I listen to these songs. Like, I really listen for the words and the content, because I really was one of those guys in the trenches cutting CDs. I used to mix the records. I stayed up in the studio all night long to record the record or track it. I sat up there and produce it. I sat up there to mix the damn record down when all the artists left out the studio. I mastered the fucking record. And I goddamn printed the CDs. So I done did it all, you know what I'm saying, for when I was with the art club and when I had the studio. I did all these things. So I got a respect for the artists and they grind, but you got to work with me halfway. You know what I'm saying?
And so you're saying, because we had this conversation earlier, you're saying like the music gotta fit the message of the show.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that we got anything against any type of trapping or
nah.
Even though the show was called Trappin' Ain't Dead, but it's like you were saying, it can't be a show,
like,
a song saying fuck women, this
like,
and that, and we saying we promoting women.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna play trap shit because that's the shit I come from. Like, I'm not gonna act like a nigga don't like bumping Ross and Jeezy. Like, I did the whole show Trappin' Ain't Dead. Niggas just scared. That came from Jeezy, Thug Motivation. But what you never heard, like, not saying you never heard Jeezy talk about bricks. Jeezy talk about bricks, but if you really go and listen to him, he just using, it's like a preacher. A preacher only use Christianity to motivate you. You feel me? It's not, he a public speaker. He just used that theology, you know what I'm saying? And that's with trap, you know what I'm saying? I think, like T.I. switching his shit up, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of cat. You can tell a story and talk about what you've been through, talk about the ups and the downs. I don't want to hear about you fucking bitches and you talking about you gonna treat a bitch any type of way. I can't play that. Like, in my heart of hearts, I can't play that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that, oh, I'm a sucker, I'm this, that. It's just like certain niggas got morals and codes, and like, I'm not finna play that certain music. You know what I'm saying? Unless like it's like it's a under, like how we talked about last week with Luke. You know what I'm saying? Luke make a certain type of music. Like, you ride with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's our culture. And if I understand it, like, that's our culture, and he not degrading women and this, but we know for a large part that in those times it wasn't looked at like that. But nowadays it's like, I just want to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I don't want to be just one of those
that.
run-of-the-mill media companies like that just put out shit. Like you could pay us and we just gonna put it out there. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like I seen that shit, and that's why the market in Miami so fucked up now. Because it's all this pay for play, and it's like, is it really talent? Is they really saying something, or do they got the biggest bag and they got 30 niggas running behind them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's so crazy now because people are so used to, I remember I got into it, I'm not even gonna name the people because I don't want to share the platform with them, but the person was like, oh, you got who paid you so you could put out this blog post? And I was like, pay? I was like, nigga, that ain't even how media work. You ain't supposed to pay to be on the platform, because to me that waters down the platform. And if you are paying, that person is supposed to let people know that this is a sponsored post and or content, or
it's a collaboration,
show, or whatever it is, whatever medium, whether it's TV, radio, podcast, blog, whatever, newspaper, you're supposed to know when somebody's paying. So people so used to, they got this blog cover where it's so many bloggers out there charging people for placements. I'm like, I don't do that. Buy an ad in my shit and we could talk about a story later, but I'm not, just because you buy an ad, that don't mean I'm finna fucking do a story that you want me to do.
Well, fuck it. Since this is a prime example of me asking Janéy one of those media questions. So, you know, I've been contemplating doing this Voyage Miami shit. You know, we got AI, we got bots and shit now. Like, people know, like, they can, you know, the Cambridge Analytica that broke it about us using personalities to gain traction and to do things. So I seen a lot of people, like, I know how it came to my email. They reached out to me, it was like, hey, you know, you influencer, we got we see all the things you're doing. We interviewed a couple other people, they, you know, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it because I just see, like, of course they send you questions, and if somebody from out of town sends you questions, it'd be the same thing, but it's just like, it just didn't seem genuine. Like, I'm like, what's y'all platform about? You know what I mean?
So, no shade to Voyage, but as a writer or journalist reading them, I could tell, like, what it like you know what I'm saying?
So basically the way it go, and I'm not trying to shit on Voyage, you know what I'm saying? No way. But the way it go is they send you, like, they ask you if you want to do an interview, and then they send you questions, and you write it up and give it back to them. So you basically, like, you wrote up your own shit, your own interview. Like, you just PR'd your own shit.
Yeah, and I don't like and I've done Q&A, and I've done those type of stories, but I always at least try to lead with some type of editorial, and I'll be like, okay, we're doing this Q&A or whatever. But even when people send me those, I try to write a story out of your quotes.
Yeah.
And I'll do follow-up questions and be like, yo, what's this about, just to get more insight, and that's why it takes me longer to do my stories, because I'm actually writing them.
Yeah.
And I'm actually putting together a story. And even though I have my forms now where people could do e-interviews, but I still take those and write a whole story out of it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, and so I saw Voyage doing that, and I contemplated doing it. I was just like, I don't like that format, because I could tell that all that person did was fill out a form, and they ain't even try to do nothing to edit it or do nothing. They just put it on their site.
Yeah. And I have been, you know, I got a lot of friends that did that shit. Don't get me wrong.
And I mean, it's a good look. I mean, maybe I would take advantage of it as press. I would say,
I just ain't look at, like, I looked at it like, man, I got press. Don't get me wrong. When you scroll my name, you don't see nothing bad. You see everything good. Like, all my platforms is there, like, first, like, the write-ups, the articles is there. So when I looked at it, I just looked at it like, man, nah, that ain't, like, I done did interviews as Q&A, but they at least got on the phone and talked to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. And that's the stuff that I be wanting to know and navigate, because I get asked a lot of shit. And you know what I'm saying? Or, like, I'm going to be honest, like, it was times, like, I just felt overwhelmed in business. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to work my job and do this business outside. And what I got to do outside takes strategy and deep thought. You know what I'm saying? Outside of being with, you know, kids all day. So it was just like a lot of, like, I would feel overwhelmed, like, or you feel like people want to push you in a certain direction, and you not, like, you feel like you going against the grain. And, like, a lot of my woes was, like, just trying to find my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I would say, for branding purposes, I would do the interview, like, you know what it is, you know, but to me, it would just be for branding. Like, I wouldn't even. Yeah. For me, I wouldn't put no weight in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's kind of like them. I ain't even gonna say that on air. But you already like certain people, you know, recognize certain people for stuff, and you just be like, okay, like. Yeah. But I have their perception of it, because I know how the sausage is made. Yeah. So y'all looking out there see it as one way, but after working in media, I be like, oh, I know what that is. Yeah. And I can see through stuff, like, real quick.
Yeah, like, based on my experiences.
And that's crazy that you picked up on that, and nobody else has ever had that conversation with me about Voyage that way.
Yeah, because I literally am a news junkie. Like, I will sit, like, CNN, MSNBC, like, that shit can scroll all day in my room all day. I don't even want to watch no damn TV sitcoms, like, because I be wanting to know what the fuck going on. And, like, so, and then I read different things and articles on people, and I'm just like, especially now, because, you know, I'm in media now. So I'm like, I look at these things just to study it, and I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to do shit that way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all about, like, genuine, authentic experiences. I think, like, that's the new wave.
But to
It's
me,
always
it's
been
a
the
way to do that because Essence Magazine does Q&A. Like everybody does
Everybody
Q&A.
does it.
It's a way to
do it. Yeah.
And so I hate to pull the curtain back. Who writes that bio, that short paragraph before the article or before the Q&A begins?
That's what I'm saying.
You do? You submit that?
They ask you for a short bio and all that.
Oh, wow.
So they ask you they ask you for a short bio and they got a set amount of questions. That's why I say it seemed like it's like some AI shit, like some type of technology where they finding out the influences and they just send you like something. And it's not just, and I studied this thing, like it's not just Voyage MIA, it's like ATL, and it's like in most.
They got one in LA. They got
LA.
That's what I ain't mad at them.
So I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, is what I want to mimic for HyLo.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. It's just like I can't like. I ain't like how it was. It just didn't seem
so
genuine.
So it's not even a person who emails you the question?
No, it's a supposedly like a person, but it just seemed bottish. Because like you know how it's like an automated message, you know what I'm saying? Like but they got automated responses to it. So every time I see like I feel like it's an automated response, I throw like a one word Ebonics word in there and some shit and see if they comprehend. Like aight. And it'll send like, is that a yes? Like, or they'll resend the same email. I'll be like, oh, it's the bot shit.
Hell no, that's crazy.
Well, on another note, welcome home, JT. That baby.
Period. Y'all want to hear me do my best city girls impersonation? Y'all hoes don't know I could talk like this for real, bitch. Period. JT is home. All you
Karen,
city
girls been doing that since the 99. They've been trying to mimic that city girl shit.
And now we bring it back. Hey guys, we're back. Hey, how you doing? Yes, education, black love, and black girl magic. No, she's all of that.
Yeah,
I'm happy she's back.
I fucks with a I had a conversation with a couple partners about the whole thing, and that's the thing. Like JT, we was talking about how like Meg is like number one in the game right now, right? But realistically, you got to think City Girls kind of open that door.
Oh, definitely.
Like they open that door as far as like being like the Trinas again, the Jackie. Like yes. JT remind me of Jackie more than she remind me of Trina.
Yeah,
you feel me? As far as like her the way her delivery is and the way like her whole persona, she remind me of Jackie O.
And she likes the music. Like you could tell, and knowing their story, she got Carisha into it. Yeah. But you could tell, like, and honestly, JT is my favorite. So I was happy to see her back.
JT is the hood
She
favorite.
got bars. She did an interview at 103.5 The Beat. She was genuine. She was open. She was candid. Like, I was like, I like this girl. Like, I love JT, and I'm happy. And we got the same initials, so hang around.
and another thing is like, JT really like, my thing is, it's one thing to rap on the record. Like, I feel like when JT getting out, she gonna step all they shit up. Like on the women's side, as far as like rap, like y'all ain't gonna be able to talk about all that superficial shit. Like, yeah, I did that. I really got money out of niggas. Like, I did what y'all niggas claim to be doing now.
I heard she got new music. I gotta listen.
Like, yeah, she got a song called First Day Out, and in the song, she talk about like a lot of people thinking saying Meg on top and. She got to come for Meg. And it's like, no, all she got to do is change her conversation. She already been there. She done did the feds. Y'all can't, if you ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Those stories. I'm ready for this music, JT.
Like, but that's the thing. When everybody listen, and this is the thing I like when everybody talked about the first album and how they didn't like the first album, I was like, did y'all not hear what JT and them was saying, JT and Young Miami was saying on the first album? Like, they was talking about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, this shit wasn't all glory. Now, we wasn't just scamming and getting money out of niggas like all day. This shit, it was ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was my childhood made me this way.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, on her song, on the first day out, she said something about being homeless and her homegirl helped out. And I think she talking about Young Miami. So it's like,
oh, I gotta listen.
So
to it,
yeah,
I've only heard the radio hits, maybe a few of them, because my little cousin Lexus, shout out Believe in Me, co-founder Alexis Moncrief, she loves the City Girls, so she let me listen to some of their songs. But so I'm not gonna act like I'm a super fan and I buy all their music. But for me, after seeing JT in person, doing an interview and seeing her personality, that made me like her as a human like being. I was like, she's good people.
And for me, that's what I like. That I don't mind putting. I'm gonna put JT on there and let her talk her shit. But I wouldn't have put like a song like the Fuck That Nigga song was right and it was going hard. And my thing is, niggas hate accountability. I like the song. I like it, like I like when females go to talking they shit, it's like, man, nigga, bro, we was talking shit for years. Like, and y'all let them talk they shit, bro. Like, why y'all so in y'all
so
feelings?
Good to hear that from a man, because people, like you said, you've been hearing the arguments with the hot girl stomach and y'all doing this to niggas. It's like, but since the beginning of hip hop, niggas been talking about bitches and hoes and money and shit and partying and like, so why can't women do it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, or one can only say this or one can only like, man, and I think JT getting out now is gonna elevate the whole total conversation.
Yes.
Where like, you know, we was talking like Nicki talking about she retired and stuff like that, and you got what's the girl signed to goddamn Tokyo? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like Tokyo Jazz.
So Tokyo Jet, she signed a tip. So she when she get off her little maternity leave or whatever, hopefully she can get bounce back off that. You know, she could come back in the game. She got a lot more to say than just talking about, you know, fucking the nigga for a check. I rarely heard that in her music. So I think it's just gonna elevate the overall conversation.
It's a great time for females in hip hop. Like, I'm loving it. I think I was talking to you before about like a all female hip hop festival. Like, I would go to that. And if you mixed in some old school women coming in and do some guest spots or maybe even doing a set, and I would live for that, because I feel like now we have enough of us, even though it probably been a lot of us before, but I would love for somebody to pull that all together, because now we have like a lot of women out there doing it and doing it big and doing it well. And I'm like, let's give us some shine. And I even saw some staggering stats about performance that it's like women are maybe like 20% of all festival and show performance. And I'm like, how the fuck is women? And
they buying all the fucking tickets.
That's crazy to me.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people all the time, man, the people who gonna be at the show are gonna be, if you ain't got women at your show, boy, you ain't doing shit. You feel me?
And speaking of like hip hop, because there were a lot of women on display at the BET Hip Hop Awards. I think it came on not last night, the night before last, and so that was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday night. It came on Tuesday night. It was hosted by Lil Duval, so he put on for Florida. I love it. He had people from Miami, of course, Tampa, Jacksonville, you know, pretty much all the major cities or whatever. And they was just showing out. And when I saw them doing City Boy with it on the fucking stage, I said, yes. So fucking Florida, girls twerking, for booty shaking is what we call it. Before it became fucking twerking, they booty shaking. It was some Miami shit and they City Boy with it. And I was like, this is some Florida shit, and I love it.
That's why I like.
Love it.
I like Duval, man. It's about time. You know, people talk about Miami music and Miami getting the shine it's supposed to get and different things like that. And I'm just excited to see what Miami's going to do. It's still a bittersweet time because I'm looking at a shift industry-wise. I think the powers that be, it's a couple things that's out of our control. Like, for instance, if you notice, Revolt is not down here anymore. Revolt went to ATL, and then now Revolt is in LA.
Florida needs to get some tax cuts.
It's the tax. It's really, it come down to policy again. It come down to voting. So when we talk about Trappin' Ain't Dead,
that shit deeper.
It's deeper than what you think. It transcends into like events, festivals. The tax incentives when you want to do a movie.
Yes.
When you want to, you want to do a TV show, they're hiring motherfuckers from Atlanta. Right? And bringing Atlanta folk to Florida rather than because of the tax incentives, than bringing people from Florida shooting a movie in Florida. Like, say, like, for instance, you shot something in Miami. They got people from Atlanta coming in. You know what I'm saying? To come shoot it in Miami. You feel me? And Miami folk not getting those jobs because of the film incentive, the state film incentives and stuff.
Wow.
So,
and like even David Makes Man, it's on the OWN network. Terrell McCraney from Miami, from the center, he has his new show. It takes place in fucking Homestead and P. Ryan, but they shot it, I think, out the state. Like, I don't even think it's shot in Florida. Yeah. And that's crazy to me because it's like you said, it's too expensive to shoot here.
Yeah, and then Speaking of a few other events that we got going on, TP Miller will be doing his laid back Sundays.
When is that?
That's on October 20th.
Where that's going to be at?
That's going to be down south. I can't give you the exact address. I know he postponed
TP Miller,
it.
yeah, y'all go check out his. I'm sure it's on his Instagram.
Yeah, you know he do a game night tonight on Thursdays up at Rain.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So him and Fat and Funny do a game night at Rain nightclub. Every
Shea
Thursday.
Butter and Mimi was talking about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to. Game nights are big now.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
It's somebody do one down here.
Yeah, we do a game night here.
Oh,
at
y'all
the Black
do one
House.
here?
Yeah, we do one at the Black House too. Shout out to DJ Chris, that does our kickback Fridays. That's the resident DJ here.
Somebody does one up the street from here. It's a guy out of Care City do one.
Yeah, I believe so. I think I heard of that one too.
Yeah, that's the new thing. That's what millennials want to do, and we, especially if you're a little bit older, if you're in your late 20s, early mid-30s,
but it's a lot
you
of
ain't trying to
people
go to no club. You want to vibe.
Yeah, you want to vibe. I think now we've been in the social media. Like I think this new generation, their task is now like to find ways to bring it back home. Like ever since like being out of my job, like a lot of people like that used to be friends. Like we used to be friends. Like a lot of us left, and we're childhood friends. Like we all grew up together. So it's like, man, when do we return back to like kicking it? Like, so what? We got families and whatnot. Like, when do we like come back to us and like just hang out and just be in each other's company? And I think now like younger millennials are like that's their task with that now. Like, how do we create fun situations or social interactions? Because everything is now online. We have to now bring what's online, that community online back, out to the venues.
To meet and see each other in fucking face to face.
That's why I like what Urban Miami and Richard and what they've been doing. It's bigger than just that black and white party you see every year. Working with a lot of these issues like retention and the talent. The what they call it, the brain drain.
Yeah, brain drain. That's real.
Retention of talent down here in South Florida. So I think it's going to happen. If it's not us, it's going to be the generation directly after us. You know what I'm saying? And what else we got? Ampool Productions. They're going to be doing.
They had to reschedule.
They rescheduled their.
Screenings.
Their screenings. They were doing some screenings, and then another person who rescheduled. I think was the Urban. Is it Urban Film Festival?
I thought that was this weekend.
That was this weekend. That just passed. So
no. It's this weekend
it's
coming up.
This weekend coming.
Yeah.
So
because iGen Film Festival, shout out to Elijah and Mary Wells.
It's the following
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So iGen
the same weekend as
BP. So yeah. So what?
It's busy.
Yeah, it's busy. This that time of year. That last quarter. And for me, I like volunteering at some of these events. I ain't gonna flex.
Yeah, they're fun.
Like Elijah, I don't mind. Like I try to lend a hand to him every year.
I gotta get to his one of his events.
It's pretty dope, man, and I love what he's doing, man, to give back to the kids. Like he's doing so much amazing things in the media world. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Just to end it on a different tune. I just wanted to send my condolences. Being a Carroll City chief. At heart, even though my diploma doesn't say that, Miami Northwestern, but I saw on our alumni page for Carroll City that a football player, a former student of Miami Carroll City, passed away on October, I think 7th or 8th, and it was a sudden thing. He was out there practicing. He was actually in college. He went to Warner University. He was a football player. His name was Theodore Booby Hammonds. And he passed away, and I kind of sent some shockwaves through the community. And so I want to send, prayers and condolences to his family. I hate to hear about any young person, passing away, too soon. And he looked like he was a great person. I'm pretty sure, all the love that he was getting on social media, that goes to show like the impact that he had. So I just wanted to send that condolences to my, fallen chief, Mr. Hammonds.
Yeah, man. What else we got up here?
The last thing was Tyler Perry new studio.
Oh yeah, we can definitely close it on that shit.
So for all the bullshit we like to talk about Madea and all them plays, and even though Tyler has problematic script writing and production and other stuff, it just be kind of rocky. we cannot deny this man's business savviness, his vision, and what the fuck he's doing. And honestly, what we were just talking about with them shows, I think he's part of that reason why Atlanta is booming like that, especially when it comes to that entertainment industry. Like,
I mean, think about it.
Mr. Perry has it going on. Salute you, King. Like,
I mean,
bigger than all the Hollywood studios.
Yeah, and when you look at it, and you think about how many actors have come through, it reminds me. I watch a lot of these things now with the industry, and it was reminiscent to Spike. People don't give Spike the credit, right? The thing that made Spike Lee was not the fact that when you came, Spike Lee was a black director. You know what I'm saying? In those times, what made Spike Lee to me was that everybody on Spike Lee's shit was black. Okay. He raised his money with black investors. So that's like, he was doing crowdfunding before that shit was even a thing.
Wow, that's a good point, Munch. I
did
didn't
you
think about that.
like? I don't know. I forgot what the movie was. I think it was Coming to America, or it wasn't. Was it Coming to America?
You talking about what?
Spike. It was a movie that he did, and
She's Gotta Have It.
It may have been She's Gotta Have It. It may have been She's Gotta Have It.
That was his first film.
But it was a movie. It was one that he was having problems getting financed.
I think it was She's Gotta Have It. He shot that one on his own.
And he got Magic. And he got it was the Malcolm X. It was the
Malcolm
X. Yeah, it was
the
Malcolm
one.
X. The studio, I think, was starting to pulled out, and they didn't think that
Magic and Oprah and a lot of millionaires. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he called MJ.
Cosby, even though we don't like him.
He called MJ and asked MJ, and he knew that MJ was gonna give up a lot of money up front. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to be the top dog. So, but he knew that in order to get Magic to give more, he basically asked MJ first and said, hey, this is what MJ gave me, because MJ and Magic were like hella competitive. Like, they didn't have one-on-ones. Like, they were going at it to be top in the league at that time. So it was a known thing that they were friends, but they're competitive. You know what I mean? And they compete like that. So they basically like MJ gave the money outright, and then Magic tried to top MJ. You know what I'm saying? And then he called Bill Cosby and some other people, and that's how they got it funded. You know what I mean? So when I look at, different things happening now with Tyler Perry, I'm like, man, the thing I picked out from that was that he had a vision, he stayed focused, and he was consistent. Madea was consistent. The plays were consistent. I'm not a fan of Tyler Perry. And here's the thing. I'm gonna keep it all the way G. When I respected Tyler Perry was when everybody tried to make the comparisons with him and Spike, and when Spike Lee didn't approve of him. And he said, I'm not here for the approval of Spike Lee. I'm here to carry out a vision. And he stayed true to that. And I've seen that numerous times in this, like me wanting to, when I look at, I'm a big person on, like, I sometimes look back at what I'm doing. And I'm never one of those people to say, look at what they got, I ain't got that, and hate. I'm more like, what am I not doing? So when I look at a Bertrand, we got Queen and Slim coming out. Bertrand Boyd.
He's in that.
Exactly.
South Florida actor.
When we got him on the show, he's more like I looked at his consistency. You know what I'm saying? How consistent he's been. Like, you know how long he been out here doing movies and such? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this ain't the first one for him. That ain't the first time he got called. You know what I'm saying? And he just kept taking a call. He kept working at it. And that's some of the things I'm looking at now in this journey now. It's like, I've done a lot of shit in my lifetime. I just got to be consistent, be better at, more efficient at being consistent.
Yeah. Even Ampoule Productions, we went to their screenings. Yeah. I mean, the screening, even though it was rescheduled because of, some technical difficulties.
Well, fuck it. They said
outside of their control, FP&L, get it fucking together. But with them to each his own, their web series, and they have other things going on in their production company. Diamos Demerit.
Yeah.
And what's his lady's name? Sorry, I forgot her name.
Katana. Yeah.
You know what they're doing over there with their production company, and I think that Tyler Perry's just really set the tone, like you could do this shit yourself. Even
Yeah.
you ain't even gotta be in the entertainment industry
To do what you
to
need
be
to do.
motivated and inspired by what this man created as a black man from nothing on Confederate soil to have one of the biggest studios ever in history. And you could look at him and be like, whatever it is that you're trying to create, whatever it is you're trying to do, like you could fucking do it.
But let's be real and let's salute some hometown folk. Florida Film House.
Yeah.
Marco, and we were just talking about the Urban Film Festival. I don't know. I'm gonna speculate that maybe that production company Master P keep talking about is probably Florida Film House.
Oh, for real?
And I'm speculating, so
Yeah.
I don't know if this is fact or not. But the reason why I say that is because I don't know nobody that Master P support more than Marco and Florida Film House. I don't know
For real?
anybody. Romeo and Master P are down here like literally like every month, and they're this is for the third or fourth year now. They're partners. I know for a fact that they did Mr. Wrong with Romeo. That was in it. They wrote that. They did that. That was something that homegrown came out of the crib with David. The one with David Banner and Romeo was his son. They screened it last year and it actually hit theaters. So it's something that's possible. Just like you're saying, it's definitely possible.
That's good. And talking about Tyler Perry and Spike and how they were having that beef at one point, and I kind of liked how Tyler was like, nah, like he wasn't backing down, but he eventually, they said they squashed that beef and they talked and talked out their differences. But like Tyler Perry, I was reading an article about that today, and it was he kind of alluded to the fact like it's bigger than that. Like
yeah.
All of that we could, what all that beefing and stuff like that, like it's bigger than this. And he's like, I can't deny the fact that Spike paved the way for me.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't deny the fact. And Spike actually has a studio, I think, or one of those sound stages named after him.
Yeah.
And so to me too, that kind of.
And he's always said that.
Yeah, that was an example though. That's true. And so I think that could have stung if I was him. Like, I'll big you up and then you knock me down in public for people to see you talk up. Like, that's a whole nother thing. And that's some other issue that we got in the black community that we got to do better. But he also showed the example of sometimes you got to put shit to the side to get the bigger picture going and keep to get things going. And sometimes we fight each other and do certain things where
I'm guilty of it. Shit.
Me too.
I know, like on this podcast, we didn't kick some people in the ass.
Sometimes they needed it.
But they needed it, and a lot of times I'm not gonna sit up here. I'll keep it G and say what I did and what I didn't do. What my intent was and what my intent wasn't. My intent is never to like harm a city or harm anybody, take food out anybody's mouth.
But keeping people accountable is different to me.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Keep you accountable is a different thing.
Yeah.
But if you take it personal, if you take that accountability personal, then that lets me know that you fucking up and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Cause anytime I've ever, it's a lot of times shit. Most of the time I'm telling y'all that I ain't shit. I'm telling you that I know I ain't did enough.
Oh, stop.
But I'm just keeping it G, and that's
fucking much.
No, but I'm just saying. But when you think of the larger context and like the community needing you and certain, like I look at, it's a lot of times Munch laid down, boy. Like and I'm saying that in the sense like not that I laid down and like I just let somebody just fuck over the community, but there's a lot of times Munch couldn't be present for the community, and like some of them I could control, some of them I couldn't. Most of the times I could. It's just like I had my own shit going on. And I just like, nah, I'm in my bag. Like I ain't doing that shit. I ain't going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it happens. But but at least I can sit up here. I can say that without a problem. I can say that I didn't play 40 music not one time in the last 3 years on our podcast. You know what I'm saying? I can say that on my podcast, on my platform, and tell y'all. Most people won't come out and say that shit. That's my homie. Like literally, we at the Black House, and like where he be at is like less than. Well, fuck that. It's like less than 10. Well, it's like 10 to 15 blocks away. You get what I'm saying? Like just the context. Like I stay in the hood. Like I stay in the city. I grew up in the same area. Like we used to leave Charles Hadley Park on 12th, go to Wendy's to get pregame meal before we used to play at the park on Fridays and Saturdays. So this is something I used to be in this area. I got a lot of friends in this area, a lot of friends that are musicians, artists, and whatnot. And how many times did I, it's a lot of artists I can go around and say I didn't play their records, thinking that I was going to find a perfect time, and then like I never found a perfect time, and 40 gone, and here I am playing this record like it's a perfect time. It's like, nah, So it but that's the accountability. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's not so much about like, and it goes back to what we was talking about, pay for play. Like we do want to make our money. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, what can you do that's support? You know what I'm saying? If you calling yourself a local podcast, the Voice of Miami, this and the third, and you not the same thing that every other platform ain't doing, you ain't doing too. Nah, you gotta step that shit up. You know, and that was just my mentality, like, because it just fucked me up that's my homie. I done known him for I don't know how long, and we never got around. Hound, another dude I just talked about, never got around to play his music. Cool people. We haven't played his music.
He passed away?
Nah, they didn't pass away. I'm just saying, like, all these different people that have been on our show. We played the Bergs. Yeah, I know Berg. That's a homie. You know what I'm saying? And people get mad with me when I do that because they think, oh, I'm going after popularity, but it's like, just like you, my dog, that's my dog. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Me and Kiddo, me and Mirror Monk. I didn't know Mirror Monk for a long while. So if you heard anything with Kiddo, 9 times out of 10 it was because Mirror Monk was on it. And I try to put it out there because Mirror Monk on it. You hold yourself to certain things like that, but it's only so much you can do. You know?
No, and I mean, nobody's expecting you. You can't do everything.
No, of course
not.
Your
friend know your love for him, and I'm sure that's felt wherever he is. In eternity. So
yeah, I'm good. I ain't guilt tripping. I just it's certain things like it's one thing to acknowledge something and then don't do something. And that's what I'm big on. That's what accountability is. It's like you acknowledge what I acknowledge is a fucking problem, and we neither one of us gonna do something about it. You feel me? It's so many times that I was in the city being the nigga that I am, upset. Like, nah, y'all fucking up. I'm not finna fuck with y'all. But if I would have literally broke bread with them, I already had my seat at the table. You feel me? But because I'm a nigga who like, nah, fuck that. I'm on some Pac shit sometimes. They don't, words get misunderstood, and your voice ain't at the table, and your community still getting fucked over. And now, you know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that I think about.
I feel you.
But it's been a good show.
Yeah, I like this. We gotta give y'all some more just us talking shit.
Yeah.
We love the guests too. Don't get us wrong, but I feel like it had been a minute since you and I established what it was that it is. As Trappin ain't dead.
Like we do the interviews, you know what I'm saying? Like we love to do the interviews. We love to look out for people at the right perfect time.
But sometimes we just gotta talk.
Talk our shit.
Yeah, I like that.
So Janéy, where the people can find you at?
Munch. The people can find me. Like I said, right now, y'all, it's all about HyLo News for me right now. So y'all follow HyLo News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Just finally created that page. So if y'all on LinkedIn, that's where you reside. Go follow HyLo News on there. That's HyLoNews. And go to the website HyLoNewsMiami.com. You could go on that page too on the website and subscribe to the newsletter so you could get the news first when I put it out. So Munch, how can the people find you?
Machiavelli _Munch. Trappin Ain't Dead podcast. That's on IG, Facebook, trappinaintdead.com.
Yes. Oh, and if you want to be a guest on the show, what's that email?
info@trappinaintdead.com.
And we finally created our ad package so you can have access to our listening audience and expand your brand and your messaging. And Munch, how can people get the ad package? What is that email again?
info@trappinaintdead.com.
I love it. Y'all, good night.